Guys, nice to see you all in my session. Today we are going to see about advanced installer and what is advanced installer, what is behind it, and let's see one by one. Okay, now I am going to share my screen. Okay, advanced installer is an Windows installer authoring tool. It has a very attractive UI and easy to create installation packages based on the underlying Windows installer technology. Okay. Um, First, we have to understand few things about Windows installer. It will be helpful to using this advanced installer to create packages for our applications, any kind of applications like Windows applications, web applications, Windows services, like that. Okay. The primary installation engine employed with advanced installer is Microsoft's Windows installer. Okay. Now, and then what is Windows installer? Um, Windows installer is an Microsoft technology used for deploying applications and for unpacking application and install an application. Then for Windows installer, for using advanced, we need some properties to carry over all the phases of the Windows, phases over the installation, throughout installation. For, for that, we are using there are two kinds of properties, private properties and public properties. And public properties are all uppercase letters. Okay. Then when we are using these public properties in all the stages of the installation. Okay. And Windows installer folders. We have many Windows folders like temp folders, program files, Windows folders like that. And we have that we can access those Windows installer Windows folders using Windows volume here, like in the fourth line, Windows volume program files folder like that, and the highlighted one. Okay, like this we can use the Windows folders, and you no need to end with the path separator. It inbuilt, it has it ends with the path separator, so no need to add path separator at the end of the directory property like in the example below. Then using these public properties, we can execute an installer setup file as a command line in the command line. Like here, we can mention the property equal to in value enclosed within the double quotes. And below there is an example for that one. Okay, you can enter the file name and the public property name myprop equal to value. You can pass any public property with value here for your installer file. And then advanced installer package types. There are four package types. That is only for 32-bit, and another one is for 64-bit for processor other than Intel, and that one is 64-bit only for Intel, and fourth one is mixed 32 and 64-bit matching platforms. This table clearly defines what are the platforms supported by each package types. For 32-bit package, it supports 32-bit platform, and it supports both 64 also. But for the 64-bit AMD processor like that one, other than Intel, it does not support Intel 64 platform. Okay, and for 64-bit Intel processor, it does not support 64 platform for yeah, other processors. And for mixed, it supports all kind of platforms, that too, and as well as 64-bit. These are the basic features of advanced installer. There are so many interesting concepts inside the advanced installer, but these are the basic features: product information, resources, package definition, and then requirements, user interface, system changes, server, and custom behavior. Okay. First one is product information. Now I am having an example of our product, earbud product. We are we created a install project for that for our product. That product has the installer has earbud server, which is a server component of our earbud product, and then earbud web is an website of earbud product. Okay, these two components are combined inside and delivered as a installer file known as intranet installer. So we are seeing here is the picture of the installer of the earbud server. Here, under the product details, we have the name, version, publisher is this is our client name, and support link, whatever it is. And here we have the product name, right? We have this property reference in all the places of this project file. So we can easily change the product name in one place. It will reflect in all the places. And for this product name is the earbud server. Okay. So here we have another option like add or remove control programs in control panel. We can add an icon for that one for this earbud server uh, application. Server application, and we have another one option like override Windows installer program list entry, and use a single uninstall change button instead of separate button. Normally in control panel for every application we have uh, two options: uninstall or change for each application. We can combine using this package. You can combine that functionality into a single one. You can uninstall or change button instead of separate buttons for each application. This one is regarding product details about the uh, earbud server. Then this one is software identification. They're not using this one. The product ID. We have different codes, product code and upgrade code. This upgrade code will be modified during every upgrade of the version of the earbud server. We change the version, it will automatically get changed by the auto build process of the entire product. Then the digital signature, this comes under the product information tab. I try to connect to our VPN, so I can show the how it looks like, but unable. There's a technical problem here, so I can't connect to that VPN. So I have the screenshots only here. Okay. Um, Under the digital signature, we have the settings for signing the exes that come inside the installer. Whatever exe we have to going to install will be signed using this using the settings here. Okay, there are enable signing. What tool we have to sign, built in or custom like that, and software publish certificate, whatever you wish to provide. Here I provided our own certificate, code certificate file here. So then signature properties, and these are all required for signing the exe files. These are the files needed digital signature. For example, in that installer we have earbot server admin, earbot server Windows service. Then like this, we have they all these exes. So we need to sign these exes using that certificate. Then updater. Currently, we are not using this feature. Using this feature, we can notify the user with the updates like that. It will check for the update like that. Then next resources in under the basic features of advanced installer, we have resources. Under resources, we have files and folders. What are going to deploy in the machine? In the files and folders, we have the application folder and all system folders here in the left side of the files and folders and shortcuts window. Okay, under the application folder, we are naming that folder as EB server. It will deploy the application under the name EB server, under the folder name EB server. Okay, this we have to place all the files in the I will try. I will show it at the end of the session how it looks like in our Dev VM. Then you can get more info about that. Okay. Here, when whatever files placed in the inside the folder will deploy under this application folder. Okay. Then we can add start menu here like this. You have to add shortcut file, then it will automatically replace with the shortcut file when you install the application. Then the registry under resources, there is another one of component is registry. Using the registry is main part of the part of installation, because whenever we install, we are saving some of the, we need to save some of the properties of that application as well as installation information in the registry only. Then only the upgrade process becomes very easy, because based on that registry values only we are upgrade that existing application with the new version. So the registry is the most important part of the Windows installation. So here we can add registry variables like this. Under current the registry file, we have current user local machine. Under that we have software. Under that we have manufacturer, means here it is Savans, and the internal product name here it is earbot server. And under that earbot server we have this much of registry keys, advanced mode, installation key, like that. And it binds to a properties. These are the properties I already explained in the previous slide, like public properties, all in caps. Okay, you have to bind that properties to that registry. Then using our code, we can update these properties and save it. In advanced installer automatically save these values in the registry back. While you add in registry, all these entries in the registry part of these resources, it will automatically save all the files at the end of the installation in the registry. We no need to code anything for that. This one is services. How we are going to install Windows services using advanced installer. Here we have about server service. It also comes inside this installer. Okay. Then we have all the options here. On uninstall what to do. we have to stop the service and delete the service. On install, what to do, we got just install. Like that we can mention all the actions depend on whether installing or uninstalling, like that. Then all you can mention all other properties like service name, display name. You can see the display name, the services dot msc, a services list of the Windows services. And start type, there are four different types, I think. Automatic, manual, sorry, it's not automatic, manual, automatic delay, I think. Three types. So these are the properties we already discussed about the previous slide regarding the public properties, like that. We can add new property here under the properties section in the install properties tab. Like this, go to the properties section and right click in the comment in this grid. You can select new property. You will see the window. Then you can enter the name and you can enter the default value. Then it will saved and listed under these properties, list of properties. Okay. Then we want to edit the existing property. You can select the property and right click it, and edit property will display this window, edit property window. You can change the name or value you want as you want. Next basic feature is package definition. And under package definition, we have features and components what are comes inside the installation. Here we have the main feature, and then we have Visual C++ and SQL servers for different versions of SQL server versions, and then SQL Server Management Studio for different types of. Because why we are having this much of versions means some clients, our clients have low configuration. So for that, it is better to have SQL Server 2014. Some latest one have can the ability to install that SQL Server 2017. So based on the client requirement, we added all these versions here. Based on their system, it will install automatically. Okay, but we have to add some conditions, whether we got to check that the respective SQL server is installed in the system or not. If not, it will install. Otherwise, it will not install. Like that, we have to code based on that. And currently, we have single exe setup regarding a build, because it has many MSI files inside the package. So in Windows installer service is the main and behind this all the installation process. It only controls all the installation process, and it allows only one MSI to run at the time. So better to have a single exe, and we have add how many MSC files we can add it in a chain, and it is better to have a single exe than under sorry. Next feature is requirements. Under that we have prerequisites. There are three types of prerequisites. One is pre-install. Second one is future-based. Sorry, four types. Third one is chained. Fourth one is post-install. Okay, pre-install is the whatever software is required that you have to install during the installation process before starting the installation process. That comes under pre-install. Future-based means some client already has that SQL Server latest. They don't want our own version of SQL Server. Then they can skip that installation, for example, SQL Server. They can skip the SQL Server version like that. We can code that kind of install prerequisites. We can add it under feature based. And post install means after the after the entire installation process, we can install at the end of the installation process. That comes under the end of the post install. And we can add a separate installer for Windows features also and Windows Server roles also. Currently, we have installer file for EA Board Server and EA Board Web. You can add, you can have a separate installer file for Windows features. That will enable the Windows features on or off like that. For that, before running for running your installer, whatever you can add it in the Windows features installer, and then we can include it in our main installer. Okay. Then this is the user interface of that advanced installer. We have many different themes. Currently, we are using the default one. Okay, like this, you can change whatever theme you want. And here we have the dialog, two customizable images. You can add a company logo here. Like this, you can change the theme of the background, the header banner like that. Dialog bitmap. This one is dialog bitmap, the top image. This one is banner bitmap. You can change this according to your product logo or company logo like that. This is next in the under the user interface basic feature. We have dialogues. There are so many inbuilt dialogues offered by advanced installer. In addition to that, we can create our own custom dialogues also. This dialogue listed in the left side, we have pending reboot check dialogue. This one is custom created dialogue. Other than that, prepare prerequisite dialogue, welcome prerequisite like dialogue, all are inbuilt one. Okay, like this, you can edit the text whatever you want here in the dialogue. And this is the dialogue section of the entire installation process. Next, the basic feature is system changes. You can add environment variables during installation. When whatever you add here will automatically add the environment variables during installation. Next, server. One of the main feature of advanced installer is server. Here it is used to deploy your website. Okay, this is the model. Here in the left side, we have how it looks like in the IIS server. What are application posts you need to add, or you need to add like that. And then we go, what are the websites available? What are websites you need to install by your installation process like that. Currently, by default, we got default website. Other than that, our installer, our Savans EA board installer using advanced installer file project, we have three options. One is for new brand new website. Another one was adding is application to existing website. Whatever we select during the installation process. And third one is as a virtual directory under the existing website. Like this, we can deploy your website. And this and we have that search. We have added the searches here. IIS browse, like existing website browse, virtual directory, parent website browse like that. We have add the search how to what we are searching like that in the IIS browse. What are the settings we can modify using this advanced installer is clearly mentioned here. Basic size settings, bindings, SSL, application pool, ASP.NET version, and ISA API filters, application mappings, and then default document. What are the default document? Index.html or for Angular or ASP, whatever it is. Then error pages, access flags, like that. If whatever you want, you can add. It will install the website along with all the settings. For example, here I added only one screen for this one, that is bindings slash SSL. Here, these properties are already created in the properties page, TCP port, IP address, and we get the information from the UI and the like this dialog. Under the new website, I'll share that screen. Sorry. We will get that information and it is buying it here. Then under the server, we have another one option called SQL databases. This one is predefined one. You can add any SQL related operations. You can add it in the inside this one, and you can deploy reports using SSR or SSRS deployments. And you can use this predefined template for SQL databases. And regarding another one main important feature is custom behavior. These are all defined by the developer. Okay, what are the applications we need to search for, whether it is installed or not, all comes under this section, search section. Here we have four different searches. One is for the required Windows switches are enabled or not. Then SQL Server Management Studio 2014 installed or not. Like that, you can check in that system. We are going to deploy our application, whether these applications are installed or not. You can check using these searches. Based on the search, we then only we are running that respective installers. For example, if is SSMS 2014 is not installed, we will install that package SSMS 2014 we saw before, right? This one. SSMS 2014 package based on that condition. Based on the search condition. Okay. There are four different types of searches: normal search, file search, XML search, and this one is extended search. This one is example for extended search. Under that, we have criteria and registry value. Under the criteria, what type of search? Registry value is three key name exists, like that. We can different types of criteria are there available there, and for what for what value you have to search for, that is registry key, like that we can provide it here, registry value. Next one is custom actions. Here you see that basic features in the advanced installer looks like product information, resources, package definition, requirements, user interface, system changes, server, and last one is custom behavior. Like this, you can modify whatever you need, as per your wish in the installer file, and the installer file as the extension .aip, advanced installer project AIP, and this is the UI, full UI of the advanced installer project. Okay, and under the custom behavior we have the custom actions, and there are so many predefined custom actions are listed in the website. You can use any one of them. Here in the screen I have one of the custom action, that is we can add CSOP method. We can create a bunch of CSOP method in a DLL and add it to this installer, and you can use that the method from that DLL, and you can place it inside the any one of the sequence of the installation. As for this, for existing during upgrade, we have to get settings from the registry. For that process, I added the DLL. This is the files we have to. This is a part of the file we have to place into the build output folder. Like we have to paste all the files inside this build output folder. Under that, we have that custom action library file created by us. And in that DLL, we have a method called get settings from registry. Okay. And this one is once you added this method, you can place it in the wizard dialog stage or install execution stage. There are three stages. I will explain the next upcoming slides. This one is placed in the wizard dialog stage. Okay, before starting any of the process, we first get all the information from the registry. For that purpose, we added it before all of the uh, functions here. Next one is under the custom behavior. The custom behavior we have sets, then custom actions, then last one is table editor. This is the table editor, keeps track of all the advanced installer project file details. Here you can see all the checkbox you used in the dialog of the advanced installer. In each and everything you can get it from this table editor. And for example, I have pointed out the registry. In the registry, we have this much of values we are storing by the explicitly as well as by advanced installer also. Explicitly means whatever added in the under registry here. Here, whatever key registry key we added in the under the resources, you can check it here also. Okay, like DB name, DB password, like that. You can edit values here also, but be careful in doing that. And if there is any file path, you have to place files, then only it will work. Otherwise, just changing the path name will not work. The file should be there. So you have to change the file path as well as file need to be available in that respective path. Then try to connect to the VPN to